Classic mode uses your phone's camera feed and lays a transparent picture that you want to draw over that camera feed. If you look at your phone's screen, you'll be able to see the picture that you want to draw and the place where you want to draw it at the same time. This lets you easily trace an image onto any surface. To get started with classic mode, you need to suspend your phone above your drawing surface. You can use something like a tall glass, a spray can, or better yet, one of our Vinci Eye phone stands. Links to these stands can be found in the app. If you're using a glass or a can, it's recommended to add a loop of painter's tape to the top and the bottom of the glass, so the phone stays in place when you touch it. If you're a lefty or a righty, it doesn't matter. You can position the phone any way that is easiest for you to draw. Now it's time to position your image on the paper. Press the Move button, and with one finger, you can move the image around. Using 2 fingers, you can enlarge, shrink, and even rotate the image relative to your paper. When you are done positioning your image, make sure to unpress the Move button. This locks your image in place, so you can zoom in to draw fine details, or zoom out to see your drawing as a whole. To adjust the transparency or opacity of the image, press the Opacity button. This brings up the opacity slider. You can move the slider to make the image more or less transparent. You can also switch the opacity on and off using the opacity toggle. Now, let's check out some need-to-know features located in the Tools menu. If the camera seems blurry while you're drawing, go to Tools, then Camera, and then you'll be able to adjust the focus manually using the focus slider. To apply image filters, press Tools, then slide the menu all the way over to Filters, then press Filters. From here, you can do things like change your image to grayscale, add posterization, or blur. Next to filters is the breakdown tool. This lets you break down your image into layers or steps by color value. For experienced artists, it'll help you analyze the notan or structure and composition of your artwork. For beginners, it turns any image into a draw by numbers project. One of the most powerful tools in the app is the strobe feature. This tool slowly flashes the overlay image on and off. This allows you to easily compare color values of your reference image to your drawing. The last absolutely need-to-know feature is the record button. From there, you can record time-lapse videos of your drawings, just like these. Make sure if you post your time-lapse on social media to tag us for a repost. We're @VinciEye on all the social networks. If you need help with anything, press the question mark in the top right corner of the screen. From there, you can watch instructional videos, check out FAQs, or email us. We usually respond extremely fast to questions and feedback. And that wraps it up for our Classic Mode Quick Setup tutorial. For more in-depth videos, be sure to check out the instructional videos section of the app, or browse and subscribe to our YouTube channel, where we have tips and tricks, live streams, and guest artists teaching drawing and painting techniques using Vinci Eye. get started with AR mode, you will need to create an anchor. An anchor locks your reference image in place so you can move your phone or your canvas, and as long as the anchor is in view of the camera, your reference image will align itself back perfectly with what you are drawing. To get started, take a business card-sized piece of paper or larger. Then take a black pen or marker and add lots of squiggles with many intersecting points and different shapes. The more tiny little details, the better the anchor will work. Also, the larger you make your anchor, the further away from your canvas you can have the phone and still have an accurate placement. It's a good idea to tape your anchor in place on your paper before you draw. This ensures that your reference image will always be in the right place. You should be prompted to make an anchor right away. However, if you want to make a new anchor, press Tools, then AR, then Anchors. To upload your anchor, press Add Anchor. Then press the purple button at the bottom of the screen to bring up the camera. Make sure your camera is perfectly level with the anchor. You don't want to have it tilted like this, or else it could distort your overlay image when it's virtually projected on your paper. When you're finished, press Use Photo in the bottom right corner of the screen. Next, you need to crop your photo. Drag the corners of the cropping frame to just inside the edges of your anchor. Make sure there is no background visible. The last step is to measure your anchor. Make sure that it is at least 3.5 inches wide. Take a ruler and measure your anchor's width. Then, type in the width and press Done. You should be brought back to the Anchor Manager screen. Here, you can press Done in the top left corner. Now your image should appear on top of the anchor whenever the anchor is in view of your camera. Do not try and hold the phone in your hand and draw. You can easily make a stand out of objects found around your house, like with tape and a tall spray can, a tall glass, or a vase. You can also purchase an inexpensive stand like this one. A link to stands that we recommend can be found in the app. Now it's time to position your image where you want it on the paper. Use 2 fingers to zoom out so you can see your paper as a whole. Then, press the Move button, and using 1 finger, you can pan your image. Using 2 fingers, you can enlarge, shrink, or rotate the image. When you have the image exactly where you want it, press the Move button again to lock the image in proportion. Now, you can zoom in to draw fine details, or you can zoom out to see your drawing as a whole. To make the image more or less transparent, you can press the Opacity button in the bottom right corner of the screen. You can use the slider to make your image more or less transparent, or you can use the opacity toggle to turn the image on and off. Now let's check out some of the need-to-know features located in the Tools menu. Once you have the phone set up, you can turn off the phone's autofocus by going to Tools, then AR, then Fix Focus. This will also refocus the camera to your paper if the camera is blurry. To apply image filters, press Tools, then slide the menu all the way over to Filters, then press Filters. From here, you can do things like change your image to grayscale, add posterization, or add blur. Next to Filters is the Breakdown tool. This lets you break down your image into layers or steps by color value. For experienced artists, it's a great way to help you analyze the notan or structure and composition of your artwork. For beginners, it turns any image into a draw by numbers tutorial. One of the most powerful tools in the app is the strobe feature. This tool slowly flashes the overlay image on and off. This makes it easier to see where you've drawn already and where you still need to draw, as well as helping you see what areas need to be lighter or darker. The last absolutely need-to-know feature is the Record button. From here, you can record time-lapse movies of your drawings without the overlay, just like this one. Make sure that if you post your time-lapse videos on social media to tag us for a repost. We're at Vinci Eye on all the social networks. We love to see what people are creating with the app. If you need help with anything, press the question mark button in the top right corner of the screen. From there, you can watch instructional videos on how to use the app, check out our FAQs page, or email us. We usually respond extremely fast and love to hear from artists and aspiring artists using the app. That wraps it up for the quick setup AR mode tutorial. For more in-depth videos, be sure to check out the instructional videos section of the app, or browse and subscribe to our YouTube channel, where we have tips and tricks, live streams, and guest artists teaching drawing and painting tutorials using the app.
Hello everybody, welcome back. I'm sorry I wasn't able to do a live video last week, but we're here today. So a few things is I highly recommend that you draw along with me, and for you to do that, just give me a second, I'm hearing myself way too loud. So you can find the reference in the Facebook group or the my Facebook page, Charity Lows Art. The group's Vinci Eye App's group, Charity Lows Art, and then you could also find it directly in the app, which I'll show you real quick on how to do that. Just give me a second. So I highly recommend that you join me in this. Okay, let's open up the app. So to look me up, you go on to the top left with the three lines, and then you go search profile, and then you type in Charity Lows Art, which is CHARITylowsart. So you'll see my logo pop up, my personal logo. And you just go into inspirations, and then you just scroll down. There is a lot of stencils that I've made. You scroll down, you find the reference we're working on, and then you press draw this. And I recommend using AR mode. Oh, why is this kind of weird? I thought I fixed this. I'm sorry. So let's go over that again. I thought you guys were seeing what I was doing. So here's the home screen. You go in here, you go search profile, and then Charity Lows Art. CHARITYLOWSART. And then you go to inspirations, lots of stencils, and then you just scroll down until you see the reference that we're working on. Press draw this, and we're going to use AR mode when we're working. Okay, so that's that. I also, like you saw at the beginning of this video, a slideshow of my artwork and somebody else's artwork. And I would really, really, really love to have you send in your artwork. I don't care if you're a beginner or if you're a professional, please email me your drawings. You can send me as many as you want and give me your name so I can tag you in it. And also if you have a YouTube channel, or if you want me to link your Facebook page or whatever, give me that information too, and I will also link that in the description. And then I am here to help you get started in your creative journey. whether that be portraits or landscapes or still lifes, whether it's pencil work, paint, markers, different types of crafts like painting on fabric, stained glass painting. I am here for you, so just send me those requests. If you want me to draw a certain image that's personal to you, also send that to my email, and I will draw you an 11 by 14 inch drawing with pencil work, and then I will send it to you for free. Even the shipping is free too. If you do not have the app and you would love to try the app, I have a promo code where you can try the app for free for 3 months. The promo code is in the description, but it's Charity Low. Is it Charity Low? I think it's Charity Low 3 is the promo code. Just double check that in the description. If you need any technical support, please email the team at info@davinciieapp.com. There you will contact the app developer himself, which is really awesome that he's able to do that for you. I also highly recommend joining the Facebook group, Da Vinci Eye Apps group. You can post your artwork. You can actually have some conversations with other artists who use the app, get some ideas on how to set it up the best way for you. And then also, most importantly, I host challenges and competitions. The challenges are currently running right now. I'm going to be posting a new challenge every week for 10 weeks, and you only need to complete 5 of those 10 challenges for you to be entered into a draw for a chance to win a cash prize. So that is something that I highly recommend doing. And let's go over the features of the app. Let's just make sure you guys can actually see it. So first thing is the AR technology. What it does is it locks onto an anchor. I don't know. Can you see that? It locks onto an anchor. You can either print off one, which is already pre-calibrated and everything, so it's perfectly flat when you use it, or you can make your own, which will give you the step-by-step in how to make your own. But what it does is it locks the image. Let's turn up the opacity so you can see it. It locks the image onto it. Let's see. Okay, so it locks the image so that if you move your phone or your tablet, everything will stay aligned. If you have your drawing surface at an angle or your phone at an angle, it doesn't warp the image when you're finished. I just highly recommend that you tape either the anchor directly onto your drawing surface or just above it on a clipboard or a drawing desk. As long as they're both, your drawing surface is both and your anchors are both taped onto the same flat surface. I like to do mine on a clipboard because I can put it away and work on something else in between sessions, especially live sessions. Okay, so I'll go over some of my favorite tools. Strobe. It will flash the image back and forth between your drawing and your reference, so you can see all the minor little differences, and you can change them if you want to try to go for a photorealistic or a hyper-realistic type of artwork. So yeah, it's really handy. I love it. It's one of my favorites. And then grid only really kind of works for the classic mode, which is great to make sure the image is squared off and it's not, at an angle and warps it a little bit. So like it's really good for classic, or you can even set it up so you can try the grid method too. And this only really works for the classic mode. Flashlight is okay for if you have very poorly dimmed lighting in your drawing, like in your studio. But I do recommend getting just a lamp because it's better. And this is why it's better, because when you're using a medium that's got kind of a gloss or just kind of reflects, like putting a lot of graphite on a piece of paper, it reflects right back up and a really dark section looks white. So just get a really good table lamp and you should be fine. Filters is kind of fun if you want to try to open your mind to new ideas, just kind of getting your creative juices going. So yeah, there's like lots of different things. It has so many different filters that just can get you out of the space of wanting to do hyper-realistic or photorealistic. Something that I personally haven't really dabbled into a lot because I really do love the photorealistic art style myself. And then Breakdown Mode is another wonderful app that I love. I usually have cutout off and then steps at 5, exposure in the center. And what it does is it gives you step-by-step stencils by color value. So this is great for building up watercolors, or if you're doing like a monotone drawing with graphite or whatever. The first layer number 1, will be a light gray, all in the area that is colored. As you can see, you can change the colors too if you have a hard time seeing certain colors. And then the next step, there'll be less space to fill in, and you do it a little bit darker over top, and so on, so forth. And yeah, that's one of my favorite tools for like a starting point when I'm doing photorealistic graphite drawings. Record button is super fun. It gives you a time-lapse video of your drawing from beginning to end, which is really like popular in like the social media. If you have a social media presence, then you can post those on there. It's really fun. And I do believe that they are working on having it so iOS can and Android can film the full length from beginning to end at regular speed. So I could be wrong on that. I need to go and talk to my boss about that. But yeah, this new UI something or other, this new UI is just to, this is like this, I'm just letting you know. This is the tester app that I'm using for like the major updates. So it might look different than what you're using right now, but all of the features pretty much work exactly the same. But there are going to be some really nice upgrades coming up soon. Which also reminds me that if you want to try the tester, there is a post on the Facebook group where you can download the tester. So yeah, and if there's anything that you notice, just please email at info@davinciieapp.com so that they can fix it, or they can add something if you have, request of something. Okay, so that is the app. Now let's get into how you pick colors. Okay, so first things first, I would either like to print off a copy of the reference that you're working on, or pulling it up onto a second device. And when you're pulling it up on a second device, put it in a photo editing app or a drawing app. Let me see if I can find the drawing app. Where'd she put it? My daughter's been playing around with this. There we go. And I'm going to have to... The drawing app doesn't have to be like super fancy or anything like that. Okay, let's go add image. Should have the image somewhere in here. There it is. Come on. There we go. So a photo editing app or something like that. So one or the other, and you can notice already that they are slightly different colors, which is fine. That's why picking colors isn't like really, really important to be exact. You can just be a little bit more relaxed about it, because it doesn't matter what printer you use or what tablet you use, it's going to be a little different. And then you can download another app, which I love using. I really hope that one day we can get a hold of the person who came up with this app, but it's called Colored Pencil Picker. I used it when I first started using color. What it does is that it has like preset pencil sets that you can choose from. And then you pull up the image, you click on the area you want to work on, and it'll give you what colors you need and how many layers you need of each color. Again, it's not 100% accurate, but it really doesn't matter too much. It will get you started in getting comfortable with colors and understanding how to mix colors. So there's that version, but what I prefer, like I love that app and I loved how it got me started and all, but I now switched over to this method where, and then this is like this method I'm going to show you, you can totally adjust it to whatever you need. You can add colors, you can remove colors you don't like, whatever. But when you get a pencil set, do swatches of each color. I recommended going from dark to light so you can see the full range of like the colors that that pencil can create, the shades and the... And then you also want to, at the beside it, to write the number and the name of the pencil so that you can easily find which one you need. And then what you do is you go to, you pull up your reference and you go, okay, let's say this color right here is close to this color and maybe a little bit of this color. So you can kind of see what colors you need. If you're going to use a secondary device, what you can do is you can go to like the color grabber, drag it to that, and then you'll see the color that you picked from that section. And then you'd be able to pick from here, which looks like it's mostly this color right here, with maybe this color mixed in with it. So yeah, that is my quick rundown on how I'm going to work on some stuff. There's going to be some other tips and tricks throughout this. Last time what we did is we used a sculpting, I think this is a nail sculpting tool, but there's a very fine tip, rounded end here where you can indent thick paper and it will preserve that that section so that when you're drawing over it, it keeps it light. So it's really good for like white hairs and whiskers and highlights in the eyes. So that is something that we did last week. So now that said, let's get into the drawing. I'm going to zoom in right into the forehead because that's what we were working on before. And we're going to turn on the strobe feature. Actually, wait, turn up the opacity. I know what's going on. Okay. breakdown mode needs to be off. And let's just see. I'm probably gonna need to reset this. So I'll be back. We're going to go back here. Leave drawing. Go back in. Use this anchor. Okay, now lock focus. Yeah, so I don't know why I need to tell him about this. When I turn off breakdown mode, it just stays black and white. So, yeah. Okay. I'm actually going to take the denting. I can't remember the name of this method, but I'm going to take this little indenting tool and I'm going to do a few more of these hairs just by pressing in to the paper. And this will prevent it from getting any darker. So I want a few hairs that are a little bit darker than the other hairs so that it can fill it in a little bit more, blend it in a bit better. This will kind of help with like transitioning shades of hair that you're working on. Does that make any sense? Like, I know what I'm doing, but I sometimes question about how I'm saying it, if I can, yeah. So we're pushing quite hard to bring out some more light hair. It's going to be poking right through. Okay, now we're going to add some more color to the dark parts of the hair. Just pulling out my pencils. I had saved the pencils that I was using in the last session, so it can still look like it's part of the same face. Okay. I'm going to use this dark red. Just doing light pressure and circular motions. And I'm using the side of the pencil, so I'm holding the pencil closer to the end to allow me to use the side of the pencil, and it also helps me control the pressure, so I'm not going too hard. One of the reasons why we're doing like soft or light layers of colors is so we can build it up a little bit more slowly, adjust the colors a little bit, change the placement a little bit more if things need to be moved just a bit. You can add more colors to the sections if you do it this way. We're just going to try to get these sections really dark at this point. But we're going to slowly get there. Just take your time. I'm actually mostly focusing on the printed copy than anything else at this point, because I pretty much got the layout done. So I'm not, even though I have the app running, I'm not always using the app. Sometimes I'm just using my eyes, just my plain eyes. Okay, let's actually go and do strobe now. Let's turn off strobe for a minute. You gotta make sure the opacity is at its fullest before you put strobe on. Okay, there we go. So light, pressure, and circular motions. One thing that you aren't seeing in these videos is that I am streaming my phone screen onto a smart TV in front of me. This allows me to do bigger pieces comfortably. Sorry. I'm adding a few details. Okay, let's go in with black, because it's really dark in some of these areas. And because we did the indents, we do not need to worry too much about preserving any of the white hairs. We've already done that. We've already done okay. My watch died on me and it just came back to life. Oh, come on. It scared me. I wasn't expecting it. We're just building up the layers. Just slowly getting darker and darker. Okay, I see like a very bright red in some areas, so I'm gonna take that. Let's see, what colors do I need actually? just one section that's got a bright red. I'm going to add that bright red. So circular motions. I'm not putting a whole bunch of pressure on it, just a little bit. And then does that blend out anywhere, or is it just that one section? I think that's just that one section. Let's go in with a brown. I'm slowly building it up. I think I'm almost satisfied with it. I am gonna have to go over some of these hairs to just bring them up a little bit more. I'm gonna use like a gel pen. Hopefully, do you know what? Does anybody have like a suggestion on the best gel pen they can find? Because I am not having much luck. Okay, I'm going to start zooming into smaller sections. It's one thing that is really awesome about the app is you can just zoom into one section at a time. That way it doesn't like overwhelm you. It ends up being like just one small drawing at a time that happened to combined into one drawing, one big drawing. It's all about patience. Don't overwhelm yourself. Yeah. So I'm going to try to mimic the texture of the skin. So they're kind of like, I see that they're kind of like long, oval-like shapes on the forehead. I'm going to add those. I'm using the tip of the pencil for this because I want a little bit more control than I was having when I was using the side of the pencil. And you don't have to trace every single little mark on the face. You can once you get to the point where you're so close to an object, it's technically just abstract. You don't need to be exact. Nobody's going to notice. As long as you know how to create the texture, you don't have to be 100% perfect. And then another thing that I'd like you to focus on is, especially with these really deep wrinkles, where is the shadow on it? So like, is it above it or is it below it? Because there's going to be a shadow on one side and a highlight on the other side. This one, it looks like the shadow is mostly on top of these dark lines. So I'm going to add right on top of these wrinkles a little bit more color to it to create that shadow. And then there's a highlight on the bottom. For the most part, there's some that don't have the highlights at all, but you can use a white colored pencil, or or you can, depending on the pencils, you can erase some of it. So I'll show you. I'm not going to do like solid lines that just don't, they're going to be kind of broken up. But different pencils do different things. So this one happens to be Faber-Castell, and it's an oil-based pencil, so it does erase a little bit. Not 100%. I'm doing a nice deep dark red for some darker lines and wrinkles and pores. And again, you don't have to trace every single detail. As long as you get like the really big, obvious ones correctly, nothing else matters. I'm just lightly putting in some little dots for the pores. I'm so sorry. Just feel like this needs to be a little bit darker in here. So I'm going to do some light pressure and circular motions. So if we're doing like the general color of the area, which is going to be the lightest color in that area, I like to kind of do bigger circular motions and more of the side of the pencil than the tip of the pencil. And then I like to do more detailed work. Usually when I start doing darker colors, I do it with the tip of the pencil. Okay, it looks like I need to add a little bit of like pinkish color to it as well. So doing light pressure and circular motion still. And I think I might add a little bit of orange too, just a very small amount. Okay, let's work on the next section. Which do I want to start with? I think I want to do dark to light, even though it's not 100, like it's usually the other way around. I just feel like doing dark to light will be easier. because when you go over the dark with the light, it just kind of goes underneath it, kind of. Like it looks like it's not on top of it, if that makes any sense. And then when you're doing the really dark lines, you don't have to have them continuous without breaks. Like just this one line all the way through. You can have it cut up a little bit, little small lines. Gives it a little bit more realistic. It gives it a little bit more of a realistic texture to it. Okay, just going over it. Let's see, where's the shadow in comparison to the wrinkles? Is it above or below? It looks like it is above, so we can do a little bit of this dark red just above these lines that we've made and on top of the lines as well. We just don't want to take this red underneath these wrinkles. We want it just above to create a nice shadow. And then for the one that's going vertical, let's see which side is the shadow, which is actually on the right side. So we'll do the same thing, keep it on the right side or on top, don't go on the left side. We're going to add a few lighter wrinkles at this point with this dark red. I'm just doing very light pressure because I don't want it to be too dark, just in case if I feel like I need to change things up a bit. We'll add a few little dots too, just some really dark, just the really dark dots. That's all we're gonna do for dots. Okay, the next color, this one is more generic with a bit of texture to it. So let's add them to the darkest areas all over. Like generic as in like the entire area, or at least like a bigger area than those little details we were working on earlier. So we can be a little bit more loose. We don't have to be super strict. We're gonna try to preserve the highlights a little bit. We are going to go over some of those highlights with a few little details as well, using this color that we're currently using. Okay, and I'm looking at the texture. I see a lot of horizontal wrinkles, both short and long. So we're gonna do a mix of the short and long using this. Again, you don't have to be exact, but you can use it as a guideline, or you can just be good at creating a similar texture and have fun with it. And we can go on some of these highlights to get this texture in. We don't want to overdo it because we still want those nice bright areas. Now I'm going in with like this really soft pink. Sorry again. I'm just really tired today. It's been a while since I woke up early to exercise. Just adding a few more like obvious, more defined wrinkles in here. Using a brown. There's like this kind of square like pattern right in her forehead, and I'm looking at to see where the darkest section of these little squares are, which are just above those lines. So I'm just going to add that. And a little bit of this orange just to kind of tie it together. Because there's a lot of orange everywhere. I just want a little bit so that it looks like it's part of the same face. I think I might have put a little bit too much orange on the rest of it, especially on her nose. And we're going to use one of my favorite tools. It's a colorless pencil. I love it because it pushes the pigment down into the paper, reducing like the little textures, the white spaces, without making it go too soft. Like lightening up the colors with a white pencil. But a white pencil is a good alternative, or using the lightest color on that section to blend is good as well. You can also get a colorless pencil blender that looks like a marker. It's kind of like an alcohol marker. So, but that gives it kind of more of a watercolor / marker effect. It's not my favorite effect because of the style that I'm using. So, yeah. But you could also do some research on the type of pencils you're using, and you might be able to get like a solution that is meant for those particular pencils, because each pencil set is going to be made out of different materials. So like, for example, Prismacolor is a wax base, so it needs a different type of fluid that actually breaks down the wax to make it blend easier. Or Faber-Castell is an oil base, so it's going to need something different to help break down to make it easy to blend. Now, pencils don't blend a whole bunch regardless of which method you choose. It just helps soften it up and also filling in gaps to make them look more solid. Give it kind of more of like a painted look at the end of it all. And if we want to, we can use an electric eraser to help pick up some of the pigment. It won't do all of it, but it will do some. Just give it some nice highlights, especially right underneath those really dark wrinkles. You need to give a little bit more light to those. Okay, for all of the little pieces of pencils and eraser, I like to use my horse hairbrush, which isn't a brush for horses. It is a brush made out of their hair. So it helps reduce any smudging, and yes, colored pencils can smudge. In fact, there is a smudge right here. I'm going to pick that right up. I'm going to check something out here real quick. I'll leave that plugged in for a bit longer. Okay, let's move on. Just sliding it over. And we'll work on the darker colors first. Get some of those details. You can do light to dark or dark to light. Just remember that once it goes dark, it is nearly impossible to get it back to light. Oh, there was one thing else I wanted to do. I wanted to take a white colored pencil, wherever it may be. I don't see it. Oh, there it is. It's just hiding. I'm going to take this white colored pencil and just kind of help bring up those highlights underneath those wrinkles just a little bit more. That's all. Helps bring it up just a bit more. we get to work on our eyebrows a little bit. So I'm gonna do light pressure and circular motions just to kind of get like the general area the right shade without getting to the darkest colors that I see. Just the lightest colors that I see. One way to kind of help you see just like the base of it better is you could squint your eyes and it kind of like removes all those little fine details. You can kind of just see the general shade of those areas. And adding some details in the wrinkles. Remember, the lines don't have to be continuous. It can be a little choppy. That is totally fine. We don't have to put a whole bunch of pressure on this either at this point. Just a little bit so that we can mark these major, I'm going to call them landmarks now. Okay, now that we got that done, let's add a little bit of red. I think we need to do that. Just to darken up some of these lines and wrinkles. I'm going to use the red for. And the lines and wrinkles, they kind of get lighter as they go to the other side of the face. Like they're dark in the center, and then they just kind of get lighter as it goes away from the face. I'm going to go in with this nice dark tan. And again, I'm just kind of doing the general color of that section. I'm not really focusing on any details at this point. So I'm doing very loose circular motions. We can add a little bit of those lighter lines and wrinkles and pores with this nice dark dark tan too. Add a light layer of this tan all in this section right here. And it's very loose, so I can kind of keep some texture and keep some of the really bright areas too. Okay, it is the halfway mark. It is time for us to take a quick break. So grab yourself a cup of coffee. I should grab myself a cup of coffee. I'm trying to not, at least not right now. But yeah, stretch your legs. I'm going to do a quick little video as that you can watch about the Android version of the app. They should be this pretty close to being the same as the iOS too. So anyways, I'll see you in a bit.
Vinci Eye uses your phone's camera feed and lays a transparent picture that you want to draw over that camera feed. If you look at your phone's screen, you'll be able to see both the Vinci Eye uses your phone's camera feed and lays a transparent picture that you want to draw over that camera feed. If you look at your phone's screen, you'll be able to see both the picture that you want to draw and the place where you want to draw it at the same time. This lets you easily trace an image onto any surface. To get started, you need to place your phone on top of a tall glass. If your phone doesn't have a case, it might slide around when you touch it. This makes adjusting settings while you're drawing very difficult. To fix this, cut a long piece of tape and fold it into a loop. Place the tape loop on top of your glass, and this will stop the phone from moving around. You can also place a tape loop on the bottom of your glass to stop the glass from moving around. If you're a lefty or a righty, it doesn't matter. You can position the phone any way that is easiest for you to draw. The higher that your phone is positioned, the more of the canvas you'll be able to see and the larger the picture you will be able to draw. Tall aerosol spray cans work great, or you can use one of our Vinci Eye phone stands, which lets you easily adjust the height and position of your phone. Links to these stands can be found in the app. Now it's time to position the image on your paper. Press the move button, and using one finger you can pan the image. Using two fingers, you can zoom, shrink, and rotate the image. When the move button is unpressed, the camera will be locked together with the reference image. This lets you zoom out to see your drawing as a whole, or zoom in so you can draw fine details. To make your image more or less transparent, you can use the opacity slider. Move the slider to the left to make your picture more transparent, and to the right to make it less transparent. If you find that your pencil or paper is blurry as you're drawing, you can adjust the focus of your camera by pressing Tools, then Camera, and then Fix Focus. To record a time lapse, like this one while you draw, press Tools, then scroll all the way to the right, press the Record option, and then press the Record On switch. One of the most powerful tools in the app is the strobe feature. This strobes the image on and off so that you can compare color values and you can see places where you still need to draw. In addition to the multiple filters in the Filters tab, there is also the Breakdown feature in the Breakdown tab. This breaks down your image into layers by color value. For beginners, it turns your photos into a draw by numbers project. Or for advanced artists, it can help you analyze the structure and composition of what you are about to draw or paint. If you need help with anything, you can always press the help question mark in the top right hand corner of the screen.
From there, you can watch instructional videos, check out our frequently asked questions, and even email us. We usually respond to emails extremely fast, and we love to hear from artists and aspiring artists using our app. Be sure to subscribe to us on YouTube and follow us on Instagram, TikTok, and Pinterest to see instructional videos and demos of how to use all of the amazing features that are in Vinci Eye.
To get started with AR mode, you will need to create an anchor. An anchor locks your reference image in place, so you can move your phone or your canvas, and as long as the anchor is in the camera's view, your reference image will align itself back perfectly with what you are drawing. To get started, take a business card-sized piece of paper, or larger. Then take a black marker and do your best Jackson Pollock impression. Make a lot of squiggles with many intersecting points and different shapes. The more tiny little details, the better. The larger you make your anchor, the further away from your canvas you can have the phone and still have accurate placement. It's a good idea to tape your anchor in place on your paper before you draw. This ensures that your reference image will always be in the right place. You should be prompted to make an anchor right away. However, if you want to make a new anchor, press Tools, then AR, then Anchors. To upload your anchor, press Add Anchor
in the top right corner of the screen. Press the purple button at the bottom of the screen to bring up the camera. Make sure your camera is perfectly level with the anchor. You don't want to have it tilted like this or like this, or else it could distort your overlay image when it is projected onto your paper. When you're finished taking a picture, press the OK button at the bottom right corner of the screen. Next, you need to crop your anchor. Drag the corners of the cropping frame to the edges of your anchor. Make sure there is no background visible. Then, press crop at the top right corner of the screen. The last step is to measure your anchor. Make sure that it is at least 3.5 inches or 8 centimeters wide. Now press Done. Now press Use Anchor. Your image should now appear on top of the anchor whenever the anchor is in view. Do not hold the phone in your hand and try to draw. You can easily make a stand out of objects found around your house, like with tape and a tall glass, tape and a tall spray can. You can also purchase an inexpensive stand like this one. A link to stands that we recommend can be found in the app. If your camera is not in focus, press Tools, then Camera, and then Fix Focus. This will refocus the camera to your paper. Your image will appear in the center of your anchor. To position your image on your paper, use 2 fingers to zoom out so you can see your paper as a whole. Then press the Move button, and using 1 finger, you can pan your image. Using 2 fingers, you can enlarge, shrink, and rotate your image. When you're done, make sure to press the Move button again to lock the image in proportion so you can zoom in to draw fine details, or you can zoom out to see your drawing as a whole. Now you can adjust the opacity. Press the opacity button in the bottom right corner of the screen to make the image more or less transparent. To apply image filters, go to Tools, then Filters, and then press the Filters button. Filters can make your image easier to draw by helping you see different elements more clearly. You can also use the Breakdown tool by going to Tools, then Breakdown, and then Setup. This lets you break down your image into layers by color value. This is great for turning any image into a paint by numbers tutorial, or if you're an advanced artist, it can help you analyze the no-tan or structure and composition of your artwork. To use the strobe feature, go to Tools, then Strobe. This tool slowly flashes the overlay image on and off, allowing you to easily compare color values of your reference image to your drawing. This is one of the most powerful tools in the entire app. To get to the last absolutely need to know feature, press Tools, then slide all the way to the right and press Record. Then turn the record switch on. This lets you record awesome time lapses of your artwork without the overlay, just like this one. Make sure if you post your time-lapse videos on social media to tag us at DaVinciEye for a repost. If you need help with anything, you can always press the help question mark in the top right corner of the screen. From there, you can check out our frequently asked questions, watch instructional videos, and even email us. We usually respond extremely fast emails and love to hear from artists and aspiring artists using the app. Be sure to subscribe to us on YouTube and follow us on Instagram, TikTok, and Pinterest to see instructional videos and demos how to use all the awesome features DaVinciEye has built in.
Well, welcome back. I hope you guys had a good break. I'll just quickly go over a few things. I really recommend that you draw along with me. So you can find the reference in my personal Facebook page, which is charitylowsart, in the featured posts, or you can go to the Vinci Eye App Facebook group. and you should be able to find the reference there also in the reference, like in the featured posts. Or you can look it up on the app itself. If you search my profile, it's charitylowsart. Look into my inspirations, scroll down, and you can find the images there. Most of my previous references are also on the app still too. So if that's something you want to do, go look through some older videos and draw along with me in those. You're more than welcome to do so. And I really, 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 really want more people to be in the slideshow. So if you are either if you're a professional artist or a new artist, I would really love to have you send me some of your drawings with your name and maybe a link to your personal social media platform. So like whether you have an Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, we would like to feature you in those. I am here to help you with your art journey. So whether that be with portraits or landscapes or still lifes, whether that be with pencil work, charcoal, soft pastel, you get the idea. I'm here to do anything to get you started. I'm even here to help you with crafting too. So we could do fabric painting, we could do stained glass painting, quilling, a bunch of other different things. So if there's something, even wood burning, if there's something you want to like at least get to know the basics of, just let me know. Just send me an email, or you can just comment it below in the comments and I will be able to see those and I can have those lined up by requests. And also I will be more than happy to do a lesson of one of your, like a family member or a pet, when doing pencil work. And so yeah, if you want an original drawing from me for free, just let me use any of your personal art photos into one of these lessons. So just send me an email about that too. Promo code, I believe it's charitylowsart for 3 months free with the app if you don't have the app already. If I'm incorrect, it's in the description with a link to the website to download the app and put it in. So there's that. If you have any need for tech support, please contact the app developer at info@davinciieapp.com. He is usually pretty fast on responding. So yeah, it's awesome that we can get the app developer doing our own tech support. It's great. Join the community on the Facebook group. I host challenges and competitions. I have a challenge running right now. I'm going to be posting 10 challenges in total. You only need to finish 5 to be entered into a draw to win a cash prize. The only thing I ask is that you have PayPal. I don't care where you're from. I just really want you to have PayPal for this so I can send you the money. And then you also get to interact with other artists who use the app too. So like that's an extra bonus to joining the Facebook group. Yeah. So let's get started. We're just trying to build up texture at this point, which is some short lines, some dots, some fine lines. And we're also trying to preserve some of those lighter areas of the face so that we get that nice shine. The nice shine that's on her face. And then for the dots, we can do like a little teeny tiny tight circle on the face. Also, don't hesitate to comment. I will read the comments and answer them as soon as possible. So for the bigger areas that need to be darker, we can do larger circular motions. And then for the small details, use the tip of the pencil. Building up texture, we're building up the shadows, we're preserving the highlights, doing multiple things at once to create this. I see that there's some sections that kind of are triangular kind of texture going on. So I'm going to kind of do that right now. Not really triangular. I would like say kind of like diamond shape. What is it? What is the actual name for that? Because I was taught to call it a diamond. Can't remember what the other name of it is. And I'm kind of focusing more on the printed copy. It's a very much trust the process and also be patient. You need to be patient with this. Okay, I'm gonna zoom into the picture using my tablet so I can actually see some more of the fine details. There is a lot going on with the eyebrows. Like I can actually see the hairs on the eyebrows, so I'm gonna add those. And then also there's a lot of pores that are visible on the eyebrows too. So I'm going to add some of these really dark pores. Just very small circles to get these on here. Just a lot of details. Are we good? I don't know. I'm sorry I've gotten quiet. I'm starting to get a little bit like super focused on this. Let's do some darker shadows over top of these wrinkles here, using that skin tone. And we only want to go above the wrinkles. We don't want to go below it. And I'm not worried about getting like a nice smooth line. It can be thicker in some areas, it could be darker in some areas. Let's add a little bit of orange to it as well so that it kind of mixes in with the rest of it. I do see orange in like the printed copy, but I don't really see orange in the digital copy or even in the app itself. But I do want to have it so that it looks like it is part of the same face. think we're pretty good with this. Maybe just a few more details in those highlighted areas. Just a few more short little lines, lines that are crossing each other. Okay, and now we're going to take that colorless pencil and we're going to push it into the paper. I'm going to start with the wrinkles and try to like blend it into the shadows instead of onto the highlight, if that makes any sense. I don't want to put that shadow underneath those lines at all. So I'm going to just do that. And then when I'm blending the eyebrow, I'm going to go in the direction of the hair to get that, to keep that texture of the hair. Then we can take the electric eraser and just pick up a little bit of highlights underneath those wrinkles. And again, they don't have to be a solid, continuous, perfect line. It could be a little bit broken up. It could be thicker in some areas. And then we're going to take the white pencil and we're going to add just a little bit more to those highlights so they pop out just a bit more. That's all. I know you guys can't really see that difference, but I do. I'm going to start off with a really dark red in the shadows. So I'm going to start sculpting the side of the face a little bit. We need to get it really dark right here. We don't want to push too hard on the paper because we still want to be able to build up more colors if needed. And then the general section here, no texture. I'm not thinking about texture, I'm just thinking about the lightest color. There is a very light layer of this red. So I'm going to add that. Let's go in with the brown. Let's see, do we need to add brown anywhere? I think right in that red area too is quite a bit of brown. And then also in that shadow where we had the light layer of red, we need to go over top of that with a little bit of dark brown. And then skin tone. We need to add a layer of this skin tone over top of all of that shadow there. And a little bit of black too. Where's the black? There's the black. Okay, now we're gonna go in with this tan. I'm gonna start off with kind of doing the general sections, where it's the lightest undertone or lightest color in these areas. So we're gonna do very loose circular motions. Now we can take that same color and start adding some details in those even lighter areas. So just put a few dots for the pores, a few short lines and circles, oblong, ovals, just a whole bunch of different things. It's got a lot of stuff going on. And that's what makes it fun and interesting. Is there any really dark lines and wrinkles that need to be brought out a little bit more? I think we can take this dark red and we need to make this a little bit more obvious. And then this one right here too, right above it. Need to get it a little darker. Let's use that dark red to put a little bit of texture in the shadow too. And then we can take our colorless blender. Let me just take a look here real quick. We need to add a little bit of orange. A little bit of orange. Use it to kind of create a shadow above those dark lines and wrinkles. And then let's kind of blend on the upper side of these lines using the colorless pencil. I like to rub the colorless pencil on my board every so often just to kind of clean it off. That way the dark colors don't go into the highlights. Okay, let's move it up and over. Let's go in with the dark brown first. I'm adding a little bit of details to this. Not a lot at this point. I'm going to go in with the red. These lines up here are not as predominant as the rest of it. So we can do it a little bit softer than what we were doing before. Okay, let's go in with that skin tone. There isn't really a lot of highlights. So we're going to fill up most of this with the skin tone. I'm going to save some of the highlights that do exist. But most of this just needs to be filled in. And then we can add a few details. Just lines and dots, a little bit of everything. I'm going to take that colorless pencil and now we're going to blend in all of those colors. Making the colors more vivid, more solid looking. I just want to see what the gel pen will look like if I go over some of these sections. I'm going to make sure the gel pen's working for one. Come on. Like, they're full. Eek, that sounded horrible, I'm sorry. I'm just curious how these will look once they are traced over. Okay. The gel pen's not working. Does anybody have like suggestions for gel pens? Because it's not working. Oh, do you know what I might have that might work? I'm playing around with stuff, so I might make a big mistake. Oh, that was really watery. Ooh, that smells. Let's mix it together. See if it makes that not so watery. That works. Not necessarily my favorite thing to do. Bringing in some of those brighter white hairs. Probably not my favorite look, but it does, I think it's better. Oh, I think that looks better. How does it look on the screen here? I'll be able to add a few little white highlights too. To the eyes, I'm going to add a few little things to the eyes here. Just a little bit of a white highlight. Ooh, that kind of brings it back to life. I like that. Just a little dot on the eyes. This is a acrylic marker. It smells a little funny. I don't want a blob of this paint, so I'm just kind of doing it on the side on my board. I really don't care how dirty my board gets. So I think that worked out pretty good. What does it look like on here? Yeah, I think that worked out pretty good. Okay, let's move over to the next section. I'm going to zoom out a little bit because I think I want to just try to finish all of it or most of it all at once. So let's zoom out so I can see that. Okay, let's see, what do we need? We need some of that red. Do a light layer of this red in the darker areas. Kind of do it even lighter on its way into the center of the face. Kind of like a transition. So it's not like instant change in skin tone or shadows and highlights. It's just gradual. And then there's a few lines that are not as obvious as others, so we are going to do lighter lines than what we were doing before. And then add a little bit of skin tone. Trying to preserve some of those bright white areas. So there's one thing that I'm not liking about the white hair with the acrylic marker, and I think I can fix it. I just have to wait for it to dry for me to try this. Is it dry? I'm gonna say it's dry. Okay, so I'm gonna take probably this light brown here, and right where it's right underneath the scarf, I'm gonna go just slightly put a layer of this brown right on top of it, just on the edges, like the tips of the hair. I think that's looking a lot better. And then maybe just do a few little pieces just to kind of make it look like it's got some dimension to it. Yeah, that looks a lot better. Okay, let's take that colorless pencil, because I think, or maybe just add a little bit of orange in here too, just a very little bit. And then we can take that colorless pencil and we can push in the color to fill it in, make it darker, make it more vivid, get rid of all of the white space. And we're going to add a few highlights and bring them back a bit. So I'm using the eraser, the electric eraser, just to kind of bring up some of those highlights. I like to clean off the eraser by rubbing it against my board. And then take the white pencil just to kind of bring these out just a bit more still. Oh, I broke my pencil. I should probably sharpen it. Putting so much pressure on it that I broke my pencil. I'm going to lighten up some of these hairs. Using the acrylic pen or marker or whatever. Acrylic marker? Yeah. So this acrylic marker is an Arteza, or however you say it, Arteza marker. They're under the Plaid brand. Oh, shoot. Let's see if I can fix that before it turns into a big issue. Might be fine, maybe. Well, it could be, it's fine. It's fine. I think that was a happy accident. That's what Bob Ross would say. Because it's very thick. There's a lot of hair in here. And I think that hair is looking a lot better than it was. Okay, well that is drying. Let's work on the next section, and then we can kind of fade the hair so that it looks like it's actually part of the person that it is just kind of floating on there. I'm just gonna clean up this mess here. So let's move over a little bit. There's not much more to do. It's just a very small section. I'm going to start off with the dark red. No, I really think there's not much to do with this at all. So let's use the colorless pencil and just push that color right in to make it a lot darker, fuller, get rid of the texture of the paper. Okay, I want to play around with some more stuff. Where can I find? I just want to see if one is better than the other. Let's try a different brand. Is there even a white? Yes, there is a white. This one is also an acrylic marker pen. So there's a fine tip and then there's a brush. This one I think is just a smidge. I don't know, do I like this one better? I don't know if I do or not. It's kind of hard to tell. I have one more color that I can, or one more type of acrylic pen that I can use. I think I might like this for like bunches of hair, but I don't know if I like it for individual hair. Okay, one more that I can try, and it's in my closet. I'm just having fun. I'm experimenting. I've already tried most of these. So there's a fine tip and this one's already. So that one's dead. Why is it dead? There's the other one of the same brand. Nope. I feel like these ones are better quality, but they are a little bit too quick in releasing the acrylic. So this is now considered a mixed media because I'm using a different medium to create my desired look. I'm just trying to figure this out. How does the hair look on there from that distance? You know what? I think it's looking pretty good, considering I haven't done this method before. You know what? I think that might be good. That's not white. Okay, I'm gonna let that dry for a bit. It says it's white, but that's not white. It's a slight tan color. Okay. So just letting that dry. I'm going to go over it with a few more details in hopes to fix it up just a bit to make it look like it's actually part of the drawing instead of just sitting on top. Does that make any sense? Okay. So we're going to go over it. I'm going to go over top of it with this brown so that it looks like it's tucking underneath the scarf. And then I'm going to add a few lines of this brown over top of the white so that we get like the gap that I'm looking for. And then I think I'm going to do the same with this part right here, just to do a few brown lines on there as well. And then a few more. We're almost there. We're almost done with the hair. I just want some of this to kind of have like a fade in. Got white paint all over me now. I think that turned out pretty good with the mixture of the indenting and the paints. I think that turned out fairly good. Should we add a little bit of gray in some areas? I think we can add a few little bits of gray over top. Just make it less bright. Okay, let's move on to the cheek. We've gotten all that done. We can move on to the cheek. Let's start off with the left cheek. I kind of want to see this as a whole. Let's turn off the strobe temporarily and then turn down the opacity until we can just barely see the tip of the pencil. There we go. And we want to draw right where the skin meets the scarf. I kind of want to do it more closer to the scarf. I don't really want to get this at all on the skin right now. This kind of gives us a border to work with. We can also add some of those really predominant lines too, just very lightly. And we can also get some of those really big dots on her face too. Ones that are kind of defining her face. Okay, let's turn the strobe back on. Actually, wait. I'll turn it off for a second while I turn up the opacity first. And then I can turn the strobe on. Let's see. So just very light layers and circular motions just to build up the shadows. You can start off from light to dark and then dark to light. That is probably the best practice, but I'm going straight into the dark. Just adding a little bit of the dark, not a whole bunch at once. Okay, I'm going to add a little bit of red now, that dark red. Like we can do the big textures, the big lines and wrinkles. Don't worry about the little ones quite yet. Sorry, I needed to answer that. Okay, now let's go into the skin tone. Where's that dark skin tone? I think all of it is got this skin tone, so we can just go wild with this. Just light pressure though, but we're gonna fill it all in. I'm still working for a little longer, hun.
Yeah.
Just give me about 8 minutes.
Okay.
Yeah, I think that's got a nice base to it. Yeah. Okay, let's see what else we need to add to it. We can bring a little bit of that orange just to kind of tie that right into the rest of the face. We see some of this. Well, we kind of see it all over, but there is parts of it that just pop out more than others. So we'll do a whole layer all over this side of the face. Just a very light layer all over. And then we're going to add a little bit more where we see that a little bit more obvious places. So another light layer. And then, so I see it there pretty good. I also see it a little bit up here. And then some on the side. I'm gonna need to sneeze. Oh, sorry. I'm Canadian, so I say sorry a lot. Really liking this. I kind of see the shadows of the hair on top, which is really nice. Okay. I think we're good for today. I'm just gonna do my speech about all the stuff that's happening and things that you should know. There's a slideshow that I have on at the beginning and the middle of the video, and I really would like to have more artists involved in that. You can send me as many drawings as you want in there. I don't care if you're a beginner or if you're a professional. Also, if you want me to tag you, like I'll put your name on it regardless. But if you want me to tag like your personal social media page of some sort, just give me the link to that, and then I will also tag that in the description when I have it on those slideshows. So just email me that. My email's in the description. And then again, you can request me to do multiple different things. I don't just do portraits. I can do landscapes and still lifes and in many different mediums. I could also do unusual mediums like painting on fabric and glass painting and wood burning and much more. So yeah, if you want me to get you started in your creative journey, just go ahead and request what you want to learn. And then also I will take on requests of what to draw. So like say you have a family member you want me to draw or want to draw with me, send me a picture of them in the email, and then I will give you my drawing for free. I will mail it and everything and send it to you. Doesn't matter where you're from. I will do that for you. As long as I'm doing it for a lesson, I will do it for free. If you don't have the app and you would like to try the app for free for a year, or I mean, not a year, sorry, it used to be that, but it's not that anymore. If you, for 3 months, you can try it for free for 3 months. It's just charitylowsart. I'm pretty sure. The link is in the description as well. For the promo code and where to download the app. And then if you have any if you need any technical support, please email the app developer at info@davinciieapp.com. He usually answers fairly quickly. And join the Facebook group. I can't stress this enough. Join the Facebook group. You'll be able to interact more with other artists that use the app, get feedback, and also I host challenges and competitions for cash prizes. Currently, we are doing challenges, and I'm posting a new challenge every Friday for 10 Fridays in a row, and you only need to do 5 out of the 10 to be entered into a draw for a chance to win a cash prize. So please join the Facebook community. I want to say thank you for all the support, and please like and subscribe and leave a comment, even if you're watching this after the fact. It's really good for us to help build up our YouTube channel. We want to be more than just an app. We want to be a community, and we want to be, we want to be something bigger than just an app. So help us. Again, thank you, and I'll see you guys next week. And by the way, every Thursday from 10 a.m. to 12:30 p.m. Mountain Daylight Time. And it will change when school starts again. It will go back to Fridays, just so you know.